Hi and welcome to Lockdown Live. I'm here with Ellie from Ellie Bee C. And yeah, we're going to be having a chat with her about her experience during lockdown and how it affected her business. So firstly, how was lockdown just in general for you?
In general, it's been quite uneventful. I wish it was more eventful than what it actually has been. Um, I've kind of just been stuck inside since about March. That was when I got sent home from university. And yeah, generally I haven't been able to do much in the way of going out or anything like that because I've got vulnerable family members who obviously shield and everything. So in order to keep them safe, I've been staying inside, haven't been meeting up with people. So yeah, just in general, it's been quite boring as such. As I said, I wished it was more eventful than what it actually has been. So yeah.
And when and how did you first start your business?
I started my business and doing crochet back in March. That was when I taught myself how to crochet. And the reason why I started it up was mainly because I got sent home from uni. I felt like, because obviously I got sent home such a long time ago back in March, I thought, well, I've got so much time available to me now, let's kind of make use of it as much as I possibly could. So I was thinking, oh, okay, what can I do from March until I start back at uni in September? So let's kind of start something new, let's start a new hobby. I've always been interested in things like art and drawing and painting and things like that. But I've kind of, ever since I kind of got bogged up with like work and everything, especially like studying for my degree, I felt like I haven't had enough time to kind of get a kind of creative outlook again since I was probably in senior school. So yeah, it kind of started when I was looking up other people who were doing similar things. And I really just thought, you know what, this is a really worthwhile thing to get into. So that was mainly my motive behind getting started.
Yeah, okay. And what sort of made you want to first learn to crochet and what got you into crocheting?
I think I think crochet itself is quite unusual. I think most people think of it as something that's kind of like what your nan does, kind of sitting in the corner crocheting with like a hook and her balls of wool and everything. And it wasn't because I wanted to be quirky or different in a sense. I gravitated towards it just because it was so unusual, and I thought, well, if younger people don't get into similar hobbies like that and continue it, then it's kind of just going to die out, really, isn't it? Um, I also kind of taught myself as well because it was definitely a skill that you can pick up via YouTube, um, or obviously reading patterns yourself once you become experienced enough. And yeah, in general, I've just found it to be really rewarding that you can kind of make something out of nothing, essentially. So yeah, that was why I learned.
Yeah. So, how did you sort of find getting creative in lockdown? Because obviously you've got different styles and stuff that you do. So, how did you sort of get inspired?
Yeah, so as I said, my account didn't actually start up as a crochet account specifically. I never really thought of making it into a business. It was just more kind of, oh, this was something that I'm interested in, so I think I'm just going to share it with other people and see how it goes. I think that I kind of didn't put too much pressure on myself to make something too big out of it. I kind of thought, okay, so you like doing it, let's see if other people like it as well. Um, I think that especially in terms of creativity, I feel like lockdown's really kind of giving me more time and more of a perspective on the things that I like doing. And yeah, it's kind of made me more reflective. Like I used to, as I previously mentioned, I used to like doing art, used to like doing drawing, but ever since I started at university, that's become the main priority for me. So rather than kind of affecting my creativity, it kind of kick-started it again. So I went from obviously being sent home to starting all of this up. And yeah, in general, I get most of my ideas from obviously other people on Instagram that I see mainly, other people on Depop who do similar things. And yeah, I also look at tutorials on YouTube and kind of make my own kind of patterns and everything based on them loosely. So yeah.
So as an independent business, do you think that COVID affected you positively or negatively? So you only started in March. So do you think that it possibly was a good time to start a business, or obviously people were having like a bit less money? Do you think it was positive or negative for you basically?
Yeah, I think that it was definitely very positive for me, because I feel like as a whole, the whole lockdown situations made everyone kind of sit back a bit and think, well, how can I help support local businesses and small businesses in a way that they never did before? So there was always things like Etsy, etc., obviously for independent businesses, but I don't think a lot of people would have given much thought about it. It's always going for the most accessible thing in life all the time. So going for things that you can get next day delivery on Amazon or whatever. Whereas, as I said, I think that it's definitely made people sit back and think, I really want to support people who are trying to kind of not make a living as such, but some people do. Just kind of giving back to people who are trying to obviously gain something from this. Um, yeah, I think that's it really. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you've got your business, but what else do you do alongside it? Obviously you said you went to university, but what is it that you study?
Yeah. I study biomedical science, so it is absolutely nothing to do with a creative subject or anything like that. None of my A levels were creative either. I did all sciences, and that was it. That was mainly like where I felt best, was obviously doing academics. But of course things like crochet and art and everything were more kind of outside of that, but I never did it seriously. And yeah, so I do my degree. I also do tutoring, so I'm a private tutor. That's quite fun as well. I feel like doing obviously things for my business and doing tuition on the side, I feel like it really kind of helps me with my perspective of time, because obviously in lockdown and everything, you don't have a set schedule. I kind of, well, personally for me, I lose track of the days. I'm not quite sure what day it is, what time it is, so I'm like, oh dear. But yeah, that's mainly what I do. I've done tuition for 4 years now, but I just do it online currently. So yeah.
So in terms of, obviously this has been something that you've started in lockdown, do you think it's something that will continue or try to continue in the future, or keep it as a side business, or do you think that actually possibly it was something that lockdown really helped but you're going to struggle with like keeping up?
I feel like it's definitely going to slow down once I start back at uni again. Of course, it's kind of my main priority at the moment is obviously getting my degree. But I feel like it's a very, very good thing to do for yourself and also as a business. So obviously I produce things and I sell them. But personally, I think that it's a very good thing to continue for me, because it helps obviously with your mental health. I've suffered with things like anxiety and depression. So yeah, I think in general it's really good, because you kind of you make something out of nothing, and you get a sense of achievement from that. Which I've kind of struggled with before. I've had a lot of self-doubt, so I feel like getting quite a lot of positive feedback from what I've made is really, really good to help myself in a way. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that I will continue.
Yeah, good. So just a final little like fun question, I guess. Do you have a favourite item that you made on your shop that's like your one thing that you're extremely proud of, or you kind of just like it all?
Oh, this is really hard because I said before that, of course, I find it very, very difficult to kind of give myself any kind of credit for anything that I do. No matter if it's for my business or whatever I do in daily life, it's just if I do something good, I never really acknowledge it. I feel like, oh, I'm not too sure. I really like the multicolored bucket hats I make. The different rainbow colours. I just like it because it's so bright and so different. And I feel like when people ask for custom orders like that, I think it's a really cool thing that potentially they could be walking out on the street wearing what I've made. So yeah, I definitely think that anything rainbow, anything bright that I've made is definitely one of my favourites. But I try to cater for anyone. So obviously I do things that are quite kind of neutral tones rather than being so bright. But yes, it's all about balance really.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. It was so nice to sort of meet the person behind the business. And yeah, I wish you luck for your business in the future.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It was lovely meeting you.